your host, Cowboy in Spade.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Cowboy here, man. And we have a huge fight going on tonight with a great undercard. Of course, one of the biggest fights of the year. And we are early into the year, but I would have to say if this fight was in January or September or November, December, or the middle of the summer, this is going to be one of the biggest fights of the year by far. We got the Mexican monster, David Benividez, going up against no other than who I call the Cuban Bogeyman, David Morrell. I'll tell you what, this is a fight that we have all wanted. We've all, I don't know, we won it. It was a 50-50. Some people said, hey, David Morrell doesn't have enough fights under his belt, 11-0. He's only fought 11 times. He hasn't, he's not ready for a fight at this caliber, but everything we've seen from David Morrell says he is absolutely ready for this fight. He's absolutely ready for this level of step up. He has absolutely dominated everybody that he's fought. He looked great in his last 175 fight against Hot Rod, and an experienced guy like that. So I think he is absolutely ready for this fight, guys. I mean, it's the battle of the Mexican monster and the Cuban boogeyman, man. Like I said, that is from me official. The Cowboy has gave David Morrell a nickname, the Boogeyman, baby. The Boogeyman. This dude is scary. I'll tell you what, scary. But David Benavidez, he don't care how scary you are. He don't care. He's coming, baby. He's coming. He wants his 29-0, and he has looked spectacular almost in every fight that I have watched this kid in. There's not one that it doesn't really look like he's dominated that fight. He has talked a lot in this fight, guys, a lot leading up to this fight. He's done probably more talking than I've ever seen David, especially shit talking. I've never seen this guy really go out there and shit talk the way he has leading up to this fight. There is an honest dislike between these two guys at the 175. Going to be battling. And the question is who can get the advantage? And the kind of shit talking, like David Benividez has been talking so much, can he back it up? When most of the time in history of boxing, when you see the guy who is the mouthiest, there's a lot of those guys end up losing the fight. They talk so much game, but we know David Benavidez can back up what he's saying, and then we're really going to see how great David Morrell is going up against a caliber guy like David Benavidez, man. And what could you guys imagine if he upsets? Because it will be at 11-0 and 29-0. If David Morrell wins tonight, it is an absolute upset, guys. I don't care what y'all say. Even if you say, man, we all knew David Morrell was a beast, and he was a Cuban boogeyman. We all knew that. It doesn't matter. It's an upset if he beats a guy like David Benavidez, man. Because I know a lot of people that are picking David Benavidez, and it's hard to go against DB. And I'm not right now. I can't tell you who I think can win this fight, man. I feel like we might be in for an upset. That doesn't mean I want David Morrell to win the fight. It just means that I smell an upset, guys. I feel like something special is going to happen tonight, regardless if it's David Benavidez or Morrell. I think we're going to be in for an absolute banger of a fight, one of the best fights we're ever going to see. And this isn't just the fight, one of the best fights of this year. This is one of the two best guys ever in boxing going up against it, putting up a big fight the way I wouldn't say ever in Morrell's case because he's new, coming up and all that, but two big guys fighting, right now. This is, our, like a Hearns Hagler with the level of competition. I know people will eat me alive for comparing it to Hearns and Hagler in the 80s, and both of those guys were I guess more known, and both had a lot of fights under the belt. But I'm talking about the level of talent. These guys are so evenly matched. The size, everything, visibility, the size, everything. They're almost, I think Benavidez maybe has an inch reach on Morrell. And I thought Morrell was going to be the bigger guy, but David Benavidez, he is the taller guy, if I'm correct. And these two guys, talent-wise, I mean, they both have good. I think David Benavidez's defense is just a little bit better than David Morrell's, but David Morrell's, he attacks, and I'm hard to say who hits harder out of these two guys, but neither of them want to get caught slipping. Neither of them want to get caught dazing off losing focus on a fight, because if you do, you're going to go nap, and that's a fact because these are two heavy hitters and they both absolutely hate each other. I'm just hoping David Benividez doesn't let all that anger he's got in him right now make him lose his focus and his tactic and what he does in the ring, because he's very skilled. He's very tactic, man. And he knows how to set down and really break down a fighter because he's a very patient guy in there and he lets the fight come to him. Hopefully he doesn't let David Morrell get him off his game and he goes out there and just tries to hit him with a big shot and gets caught himself. That is very dangerous, and that could possibly happen against a guy like David Morrell, the Cuban Boogeyman, baby. When I say he's a Cuban Boogeyman, this man is scary. Y'all got to watch out for him, man. This is going to be a hell of a fight. Right now, I am currently watching the undercard on this. Ramos versus Rosario, which has been a pretty good fight so far. But if Ramos loses, I would say it's an upset if Ramos loses this fight to Rosario, even though I think Rosario is a great fighter also, man. This whole card, even top to bottom, man, it's going to be unbelievable. But before we get into that undercard, man, who wins this battle at 175? How many rounds? Will we see a knockout? Will we see an upset? What do you all think on that, man? Leave it in the comments below. Let me know if you see an upset coming with this fight. I'm going to try to get this episode up before the big fight happens, the Morrell versus Benavidez fight, so you guys can at least jump in and watch this before it goes on. I'm going to try to zoom through this episode because my boy Spade is not here today. He got injured, man. Hopefully he's getting well, and maybe he jumps in midway through, hopefully. But, you know, he worked yesterday, injured himself at work. Had to go to the hospital earlier, so he's probably resting up, man. Get well, my dude, Spade. Love you, brother. Definitely miss you on the show today. But, hey, guys, this fight, man, I've been waiting all day to do this show, and really wanted to get it in, man, because we're not only talking about what could possibly happen, how many rounds these guys think this can go. Can David Benividez end it early? Will somebody get knocked out early in this fight? Are we going to be completely shocked? Is it going to be one of those, or is it going to go the distance between these two guys? I thought Rosario. Sorry, that guy's lost track. I thought Rosario got knocked down there, but it was a slip. But anyways, man, how many rounds is it going to go? Put your predictions down below, man. Is it going to be an early night for one of these guys? Is it going to go the distance? And who wins that decision if it does go the distance? Can Morrell fight 10 rounds with David Benividez? We will find out tonight in Las Vegas, baby. What better place to have this big-time fight, guys? And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of big fights coming up this year, but this right here is getting the ball rolling for the 2025 boxing year. It is unreal what we're about to watch going into the year on February 1st, or is it February 1st? Around that time with the, or it might be February 22nd, actually, I'm thinking. The big fight with Better Be and Bivol, that rematch, that card is absolute fire. Hell of a card on that with Shakur Stevenson going up against Kid Schofield. I think Schofield's out of his league, but we won't get into that. But this is just getting the ball rolling on what's going to be a great year. I got more news on fights that have been scheduled going into the early spring, late summer, and who those cards are, man. But right now, great fight between Ramos and Rosario. And let's go get into the undercard, man. I won't give a prediction on the David Morrell versus David Benavidez fight. I think something special is going to happen. I will say I do not think it's going to go the distance. I don't think it goes 12 rounds, guys. I think something special is going to happen. One of these guys are going to get knocked out, and they're going to put themselves in the seat, the driver's seat, to getting that unified chance against the winner of Better Be and Bivol. And Rosario right now going off, Ramos is going off on Rosario right now. Got him in a tough position. He might end up knocking him down. He's in a good spot, hurt him a little bit, but looks like Rosario's trying to fight back. But once again, man, Jesus Ramos trying to get his, I think, didn't he take a loss in his last fight, if I'm correct? So he's trying to get that L back in this one and prove himself again that he is still a contender. But yes, like I said, this is going to be a great card. I think I expect some kind of upset coming, guys. I smell it. I see it. I don't even know if it's an upset, but I think something special is going to happen tonight. Absolutely, 100%. And if you don't tune in, you're just not a boxing fan, baby. And why you even listening to the show if you ain't going to tune in to David Benividez and David Morrell, baby? The monster, Mexican monster versus Cuban Boogeyman. That's right. Let's get into the undercard right now. I'm watching Jesus Ramos against Rosario. Jesus Ramos is slowly in the last couple of rounds, I feel like, taking over in this fight. Is landing the bigger, better punches, looking pretty good. Both fighters are looking, good, but Ramos is looking like the better fighter right now. So let's see if he can finish this fight and get his way back to winning ways and get his winning streak back on track. But the co-main event, we're going to talk about that one in a rematch with Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa in the second fight, going up to 126, where Figueroa feels more comfortable, and Stephen Fulton said, hey, let's do it. Whatever weight you want to do it at, let's do it. The fight was so close. It was such a great fight. Over 1,000-something punches a piece thrown. If I'm correct, these guys threw punches, and it was a great first fight. So I expect nothing less in this fight. I think Stephen Fulton in this one definitely needs to stay off the ropes, take it to the middle of the ring, and make Figueroa fight you in the middle of the ring, because he wants to put you up against some ropes, and he's got a lot of speed to him, man. This is going to be an unbelievable co-main event. I definitely look forward to this one, man. It's going to be a great fight. I think I'm going to go with Brandon Figueroa getting his get back tonight against Stephen Fulton in this second fight. I'm going to take Brandon Figueroa tonight against Stephen Fulton. I could be wrong. I could be right. Tune in, find out. Also on that card is Isaac Pitbull Cruz going up against Angel Fierro. Who you got in this one, guys? Put it below. Who you got in the Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa fight? Put that below also in the comments, man. Who you got in this Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fierro? Also, Isaac Cruz coming off an L, trying to get his win streak back against a really tough Mexican fighter and Angel Fierro. Man, this is going to be another great fight against two Mexicans. When Mexicans fight each other, or you fight a Mexican, you've been in a fight, baby, because you're fighting a Mexican. They got tough chins. They got hard heads. They got a lot of pride, baby. They don't want to go down, and they ain't going to go down easy. And David Morrell is currently walking into the arena right now as I am talking, making his way into the arena, getting ready for the big event tonight, man. But like I said, Isaac Pitbull Cruz has to get that L back, man. He doesn't want to lose 2 in a row. I call him the Mexican Mike Tyson. I don't know if his power has been transitioning at 140. That's the one thing I've seen him lacking a little bit, that his power has not come up with him. And then we watched Jose Valenzuela give him an L in his last fight and kind of kept him at bay, and kind of may have gave a lot of people the recipe to beating a guy like Pitbull Cruz. Don't let him get inside. Keep him on the outside. Keep yourself moving. Keep your feet moving. Don't let him corner you. And that's what Jose Valenzuela did. And even though he did get cornered a few times, he was still able to get out of it and keep himself moving and, making those cuts and turns when he was getting into the corners. So he may have given people the recipe, but I don't know. I don't know if Angel Fierro has got the ability that Jose. I think he does. He's a hell of a fighter, guys. Angel is. So I think we're going to see what's going to happen tonight, man. I think Pitbull Cruz is definitely on a mission. These guys at the weigh-in did not mince it. They had eye-to-eye contact. They had one of the longest stare-offs I've seen. Nobody wanted to look away. These two guys were like, you're not punking me. You're not punking me. They kind of got in each other's face. A little bit of headbutt coming from Pitbull Cruz as signature. Baby, I'm here to fight. I'm here to fight, not be your friend. I'm here to fight, baby. An all Mexican battle going on with Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fierro. Don't miss that. Should be on after this Ramos versus Rosario fight, which is 7 of 10 rounds in right now, guys. And it looks so far like Ramos is controlling this fight as we can see it. And he's gotten the best of Rosario so far. I would give the fight. I would have Ramos up in this fight so far. But, hey, we still got 3 rounds left, and it's boxing, baby. So, anything can happen, as we saw in the previous fight before this, Carello versus Ivory, if I'm correct. Great fight. I want to say Ivory was about to give Canelo his first loss of his career. But in the 10th round, Canelo landed some nice body shots that put Ivory down twice, and he got the win as the ref stopped that fight in the 10th round, baby. So this could happen in this fight too. That's boxing, and that's the way it goes. But also, like I said, we're watching this fight right now, Jesus Ramos versus Rosario. But in my pick for the Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fierro, I'm going to go with Pitbull Cruz. He really has to win this fight, get his win back, and show people that he is still a dominant force in boxing, baby. And maybe get a Tank Davis versus Cruz rematch, even though I think Tank wins that one easily. What did I just say? Rosario goes down. Ramos knocks Rosario. Like I said, he's been dominating this fight the whole time, man. Rosario has not even been in this fight. Ramos has looked spectacular. He just knocked Rosario down. He's up from a standing 8. Can he go in and finish this, guys? He is looking to kill his man. Not really kill, but looking to take. Oh, he's got him wobbling on that back foot. He's hurt. He's hurt. Don't get caught. Calculate them punches. He's fighting back. What a hell of a 7th round that was, baby. That's what I'm telling you. Maybe Fierro. Oh, man, Ramos is looking really spectacular tonight, man. So we're talking about that fight right now. It's on my thing. Who you guys got? By the time this gets up, this fight will be over. So it doesn't really matter who you got. It looks like Ramos is. If he continues in this path, Ramos should win this fight. I don't know if he's going to end up knocking him down or what he's going to do, but we also have a couple notable fights also coming up this weekend. Of course, we already had one earlier today. Adam Azim, I don't know the winner of that fight, but Adam Azim fought earlier. And then tomorrow you're going to get the undisputed heavyweight championship with for the women's boxing with Clarissa Shields going up against Danielle Perkins, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern on the Zone at Financial Center in Flint, Michigan, guys. That's going to be a hell of a fight. Oh, and there Rosario goes down. I think this fight is over. Oh, no, that was a replay, it looked like. Okay, so they got me on the replay, guys. I was over here paying attention to that. I heard a bell, and I thought the fight was back on, and it was over with. But, hey, guys, another great fight. Like I said, don't miss Clarissa Shields tomorrow coming out doing her thing. Also, a little bit of boxing news for you guys, man. Like I said, I'm trying to run through this episode so I can get it up before this big a fight happens and maybe these other undercard fights happen so you guys can watch it and comment down below what your thoughts are, man. But like I said, in notable boxing news right now, we've got May 6th. Looks like a nice little date coming up. Ryan Garcia versus Rolly, Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Also on the card is Martin Bacoli versus Afi Ajabwe. It's a hard name. Has been announced and made official. This is going to happen with Turkey, so it's going to be over there. Big money on the line and a big rematch on the line for Garcia and Haney, who's looking to make that rematch sometime in October, is what I'm hearing on the news of that one, and trying to build that up. I've also heard that Teofimo Lopez may be on the verge of signing a contract to fight Richard Hitchens at 140, which I think is a great fight for both of those guys, and I'd love to see that one. Hopefully that gets made official and that fight gets done. Let's also talk about Jose Valenzuela, who I just talked about, who was the last person to beat Pitbull Cruz. He will be fighting Gary Antoine Russell, announced as a co-main event on the Davis versus Roach card, guys. So that's a good addition to that card. I was wondering who all was going to go on that card. Wasn't looking like a great card outside of the main event, but now we got this one, which is nice. And I also think Carell Moten might be on that card or another card he just got announced for. Also, a fight that a lot of people have been waiting for, especially in the UK, over there in the UK. Chris Eubanks versus Conor Benn has been announced for April 26th. A lot of people have been waiting for this. Benn is going to go up to Eubanks 160 level. He usually fights about 154, 152 in his last couple of fights. He's originally a 147 welterweight fighter, so that's a lot of weight for him to make up, but he believes he can do so. When this fight was originally supposed to happen, he got popped for PEDs and the fight was canceled. And then he got suspended over in the UK for almost 2 years, at least a year and a half, almost 2 years. His suspension lasted over there, but finally it is up, and now this fight can be made. And everybody wants to see it because of Connors and the Ben and the Eubanks. They've got a good rivalry over there with the two fathers who previously fought early in their careers. And now the sons are going to fight each other, so this is going to be a great fight. It looks like Rosario is getting a standing 8 right now. He's trying to figure out what's going on. It looks like the ref may have stopped it, and here we go, baby. Jesus Ramos gets a nice little win as a ref. Weirdly, I mean, Rosario wasn't defending himself. His face looked pretty bad. He was getting beat up, but sometimes you just got to let these guys fight. He wasn't really hurt, but hey, great fight for Jesus Ramos, who gets a win over Rosario, who it looks like he just beat the brakes off this guy, honestly, guys. But hey, man, there's not a lot of news going on. And like I said, this is episode 90, baby. I had to zoom through this. I had to get it up, man. I had to get it going for you guys. I had to do it so fast that I didn't even drink any of my bourbon with you guys, man. I just got on here and I went with it, baby. That's what I'm talking about. But hey, let's take this shot. I'm going to get this episode up and out for you guys on YouTube, baby. Check it out. I'm also going to put it up on my podcast, which will be on Amazon Prime and all Apple and all that kind of stuff. Our podcast, should I say, Bourbon and Boxing. It's a Cowboy, guys. Don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell their friends, and everybody tells their friends, like my guy Spade would say. Then everybody gonna tune in, baby, because we're the best boxing show out there. Tune in. You're gonna get all your news. You're gonna get all your latest updates, baby. Thank you. 2025, the ball is rolling with the monster versus the Cuban Boogeyman, baby. Woo! It's gonna be a good one. Thank y'all for joining, man. Toast. Y'all have a great Saturday. Enjoy your fights. Catch me on TikTok under the Cowboy. On there, also under Bourbon and Boxing. You can catch me on there. I might go live for the main event later on TikTok, guys. And sorry, my guy Spade couldn't be here, but man, he's in some pain. So let's give him best wishes on getting well and getting back with us next week, where we'll review and go over what we saw tonight. Thank y'all for joining me one more time. Like, share, comment, all that fun stuff, baby. Thank y'all. Have a great night. Hats off. Ding, ding, baby.